you get into stand-up? I'm someone who is, not involved in any. I don't think there is much of a local scene where I'm at, or I'm very bad at looking at it. So
in chronological order of the three of us, I started first with Joey right behind me. I was at a bar, and I was talking about wanting to do comedy with a friend, and a friend of mine had told me to go to Baton Rouge to do comedy. And then a guy was like, "Oh, you like comedy? Well, go and meet this other guy." And he had just started doing an open mic. And that's whenever I started doing comedy. I went up the first time and I had one joke. And it was the joke was fine.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it was just one joke, and I had 15 minutes, though, and it was not good. Yeah, I thought at the time I thought that crowd work was entirely organic, and that people just happened to say the things that you wanted all the time, and they could read my mind. I was very dumb. I was a dumb person at that time.
Yeah, I was there for Charles's first set. It was pretty fun because he had a joke that he could have done as just here's the joke, set up punchline, but instead he was like, what I'm going to do is this joke's about superheroes, so I'll ask the crowd for their favorite superhero. But he only had a joke about one superhero, so it's just what's your favorite superhero? And it's Spider-Man. He's like, okay, and asks another person. Gets to somebody said Superman.
Yeah, I did that for a long time until Joey was my plant because he knew what the joke was. So he said, that's the night that Joey saved my life too.
Yeah.
Riley, how about yourself? What is your story?
I started a couple months after I graduated high school. I was trying to figure out what do I do? I don't know what to do. With my life, I was bouncing between jobs. I was like, okay, what do I do? And I always wanted to do comedy. I did it in fourth grade for a talent show. Went terribly because it's the fourth grade. No one has a good sense of humor. And in these, so I was a laborer. And then I was doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Laboring has nothing to do with it. But this girl that took the kickboxing class at the same time as my jiu-jitsu class told me there was a open mic. I'm like, oh my God, I always wanted to do an open mic. I went the same night. It was literally that night at the after class. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I had nothing written down. I had nothing prepared. I just literally thought of funny things that I think would be funny. And I just went on stage. I said them, got some laughs, and then I so hooked. I wrote actual jokes, but there were such bad jokes I never used them. But I've been doing this for almost 2 years, so it was 2020. So it was an interesting time.
Do you think that there's much of a distinction between what kinds of senses of humor work in that setting versus folks who are just fun to be around?
I think the thing that I've found is a misconception about comedy is that comedy, at least stand-up comedy, is a skill you learn. It's not necessarily I've seen people go up and naturally have a knack for it and everything, but writing a joke is not super intuitive. If you talk to your friends in the form of stand-up comedy jokes, it would suck. You would not be fun to talk to if you just started doing a bit for them rather than just talking to them like a normal person. So it's a little less natural. I find I use a music analogy for a lot of stuff. Being funny sort of naturally is kind of like having rhythm. It's like a bass line. It's kind of something you could theoretically get over not having and still, learn how to play music. Many have done it, but it's like a sort of groundwork, and then learning an instrument is on top of that. You might have rhythm, but you don't necessarily just walk up to a piano and know how to play it without practicing. So like for comedy, you got to like practice and learn and trial and error and figure out how to like write jokes and be funny without anyone else to bounce stuff off of or set stuff up for you or, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are not like particularly funny people who do comedy who are like good at doing comedy, I think. Like I know several people who are good at doing stand up and like I just think or they just don't have any like outside of stand up. I mean, like they're like very funny in stand up and very like they'll try to be funny, but yeah.
Name names, Charles.
I'm not gonna name any names, dude. I'm aware that I should not do that.
Hello, this is David Lieberhart.
And Jason the Kitty Cat.
Please join Crew de Maine and the Center for Stateless Society.
For Crew de Crown.
A week-long
Anarchist Book Fair.
and Mardi Gras
Festival.
in St. Tammany
County.
Louisiana. There'll be live podcast
Music.
and a pop drag.
So much.
Visit our website, crudegras,
.wgf.
for more information.
Thank you.
Have a great Mardi Gras.